Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the Cricket Happening Show as usual. And today we are going to talk about the 16th match in the T20 World Cup. 16th match, Super 10, Group 1. The match was between Afghanistan versus Sri Lanka. And as I said yesterday, I said that Afghanistan would be quite something, but well, nothing of that sort was there. In fact, I would say that Sri Lanka won in a very comfortable manner by 6 wickets, which I'll be talking about. Dilshan played a good hand in that in this particular match, and then there are two matches which are coming up tomorrow, and that is between a match which England and South Africa. Of late, you know that South Africa beat England in South Africa, as you remember, in the T20s, and now they are once again going to renew their battle here, and this time on a different ground, in a different country, and they are going to be facing each other, and this match is going to be played in Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, and the other match that is coming up tomorrow in the Super 10 is the Trans-Tasman clash, Australia versus New Zealand. It's coming up at Dharamshala, but there is a threat of rain, but hopefully it stays away. But let's first get on to the first match, and that is the T20 World Cup today. As I said, Sri Lanka versus Afghanistan. One was really looking forward to this particular match. As I said, Sri Lanka are a rebuilding team, and probably Afghanistan could probably give them a tough time, but nothing of that sort happened today. Well, Afghanistan were the ones who actually won the toss, and they decided, their captain Asghar Stanigzai deciding that he would be batting first at Eden Gardens in Kolkata, and well, it was a very subdued start. In fact, we didn't see when the bowlers Angelo Matthews and Kuleshekara was operating, we didn't see as we call him, the Mad Max, I would say, because the way he actually plays the ball, Mohammad Shahzad, the stockily built opener, he actually had a very subdued start, I would say. He didn't really try to hit any boundaries, but then finally, only in the third over, I thought that Shahzad unwinded by actually clouting Matthews for a 4, and in the very next delivery, Mohammad Shahzad was a goner, caught by Chamira off the bowling of Matthews. Another shot attempted in the deep, attempted through the deep, and it was snapped up by Chamira of the bowling of Matthews for 8 of 12 balls with 1 4. So that was the first wicket number 1 for Afghanistan. Noor Ali Zadran was impressive in his stroke making. He played some nice leg side strokes to contribute 20 of 23 balls with 3 4s, and he was a victim. He was clean bowled by Rangana Herath, who got the ball to turn in, and Noor Ali Zadran. But in the brief stay at the crease, Noor Ali Zadran really looked good. After that, we saw Asghar Stanigzai, the skipper, come in, and once Asghar Stanigzai came, we saw that this Afghanistan innings really started plummeting, in the sense, once Asghar Stanigzai was the crease, he saw that he couldn't get any support from Karim Sadiq, who was out for a duck to the bowling of Pereira, and Mohammad Nabi, normally their mainstay, I would say, was winning some very good nick, was also snapped up. His wicket was taken by Rangana Herath LBW for 3 or 4 balls, which made it 51 for 4, and Afghanistan were in serious trouble at the halfway mark. 11 overs were more than halfway mark. 10 points, 11 overs was gone, and they were 51 for 4. But the cool Asghar Stanigzai, the Afghanistan captain, was at the crease as Samiullah Shenwari joined him. Once Samiullah Shenwari joined him, they definitely changed their plan. They knew that this innings was not going anywhere, and definitely it required a huge injection of runs, and that came in the form of a very, I would say, an entertaining partnership that started with Asghar Stanigzai deciding, the captain deciding that he was the one to really take it up. At the other end, Samiullah Shenwari was also doing the same, and we saw Asghar Stanigzai get into his zone and Cloud Kulashekara for sixes, and he also turned his attention to Tisra Pereira by striking him for two sixes, and Samila Shenwari took the cue and he also slammed two sixes, and suddenly this Afghanistan innings, which was reeling at 51 for 4, suddenly started looking a bit respectable when the score reached 112, with Asghar Stanigza really playing some beautiful strokes. In fact, Asghar Stanigza really opening up. He sent Rangana Herath into the fence too, and Samila Shenwari normally is a very aggressive player, but Asghar Stanigza was a bit of a surprise that Asghar Stanigza really started showing his. He was absolutely playing in a very sedate manner. Suddenly he opened up and he started clouding sixes. But what a knock from Asghar Stanigza! He ended up with his highest score in his T20 cricket, with 62 of just 47 balls, 3 fours and 4 six. Very highly entertaining, and definitely Afghanistan recovering from a very bad situation to 112. So that was a very neat little partnership, which was absolutely needed. 61 runs were added with this partnership, and that was done in pretty quick time. They were almost scoring at a clip of more than 10 runs per over. And Samila Shenwari was also looking very aggressive. And finally, Sri Lanka met with a reward, as Samila Shenwari was a victim of Kulashekara with a real cameo. 31 of just 14 deliveries, 3 fours and 2 sixes. After that, once they had done 112 runs. Again, we saw that Shafiqullah was out for 5, and Dalal Zadran was not out, but Najmullah Zadran, is also a good batsman in the lower order, hit 1 6 and 1 4 in a very short knock of just unbeaten 12 of 5 deliveries, which took the Afghanistan score beyond the 150 mark, and this particular score of 150 really looked a very decent score by Afghanistan standards. Now, and especially considering they were playing against Sri Lanka. Angelo Matthews, 3 overs, 1 for 17. Kulashekara was the one who was very costly, 4 overs, 143. In fact, he was the one who received the major tap from the batsman Stanigza and Samila Shenwari. Shamira bowled an excellent line, 4 overs, none for 19. Rangana had 4 overs, 2 for 24. Pereira, 3 for 33 of 4. Srivardhan also was clouted, 1 over, none for 16. Now it was a turn for Sri Lanka to chase 153, and one was really looking forward to see what Afghanistan could do. We definitely saw a sort of a different game plan today from Asghar Stanigza. He started off with Karim Sadiq as a bowler, and I was a bit surprised there. And then he had his pace bowlers operating. And the pace bowlers, well, they couldn't really make a mark. In fact, Dilshan was the one who was going after the pace bowlers as he started. In fact, Chandimal also played some very good strokes. He hit Karim Sadiq for his 6, and Dinesh Chandimal had made 18 of 17 balls with 2 fours and 1 6 when Mohammad Nabi picked up his wicket, and that was wicket number 1 for the Sri Lankans, falling 41 for 1 in the 6th over. And then Tirumani came in, and at the other end we had Dilshan playing very well. In fact, he smoked Hamid Hassan through the offside for boundaries. He also turned his attention onto Davlat Zadran by smacking him for a few boundaries, and Dilshan was looking pretty good, playing his Dil scoop too at times as Tirumani joined in. But Rashid Khan with his spell of bowling, where he actually, as I said, he bowls, he's a Shahid Afridi type of bowler who really gets the ball to fizz, and that's what he precisely did, and that resulted in Tirumani losing his stumps to Rashid Khan for 6 of 13 balls with 1 4. We had 58 for 2, and then we saw the dismissal of Tisra Pereira run out for 12 of 8 balls, and Kapagara was run out by Mohammad Nabi for 10. And even though the wickets were going at regular intervals, but the good thing for Sri Lanka was that the man Dilshan was there at the crease, and he was not allowing any situation to get out of control, as he was the one who was maneuvering the innings beautifully, and finally he maneuvered the innings in a wonderful way to take the Sri Lankans to victory, as Sri Lanka finished at 155 for 4 in the 19th over. So with 7 balls to spare, it was a Sri Lankan victory by 6 wickets. Dilshan playing a wonderful hand, an unbeaten 83 of just 56 deliveries, 8 fours and 3 sixes. And Angelo Matthews, the captain, was not out on 21 it was 21 of 10 balls with 3 fours and 1 6. Game over. It was the Sri Lankans, I would say, contrary to expectations. I thought they did a good job of winning this match in a comfortable manner. Karim Sadiq, 2 overs for 21. Hamid Hassan he was hit by Dilshan in a very nice way. 3.5 overs, no maiden, none for 38. Dalit Zadran, like 31 of his 3, normally a very economical bowler. Dalit Zadran also suffered today. Mohammad Nabi, 4 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 25. I thought I thought the spinners bowled an excellent line. 4 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 25 for Mohammad Nabi. Rashid Khan bowled 4 overs, 1 for 27. Samil Shanwari, 2 overs, 1 for 9. And Tilakatne Dilshan took away the man of the match. So that is Sri Lanka getting their first points in the T20 World Cup, and Afghanistan losing the match. Now, there are 2 matches which are coming up tomorrow. I'm just going to do a brief review. The first match is going to be between England and South Africa, and definitely one can say that England are the ones under tremendous pressure here, because we know that England and South Africa, when they played the series there in South Africa, England actually lost the series to South Africa, with South Africa coming from behind and hitting them in some close matches, one could say. But then we saw that Chris Gayle almost demobilized this England bowling camp with his brand of hitting, and that definitely would have dented the morale a bit for the Englishmen. But yes, it's a different match. But definitely, I think England's morale would have been dented a bit after losing, and they are the ones under pressure. In fact, because after losing the first match, so South Africa definitely would be into some confidence. And I thought South Africa have done a good job. If you look at the warm-up matches, they have done a wonderful job, and they are looking good too in T20 cricket. Now, as far as England are concerned, they definitely need their openers to fire. Jason Raw and Alex Hales definitely have to put up a big partnership, and that is what is very important. Joe Root, he yesterday showed that he could also play the aggressive type of game, which was good to see. And then they have those very good tonkers like Morgan, the captain himself, Josh Butler, who can come up with those innovative stroke making. Ben Stokes, always a danger to any opposition in the world today. Moeen Ali, Adil Rashid can also wield the willow a bit, and then the bowling would be in the hands of David Willey and restocking Trijan. So basically this match is going to be something where both the teams know the strengths and weaknesses, and the only one thing in favor of South Africa, I think, which is also probably telling me that I am probably tilting towards South Africa here in this match against England tomorrow. Probably giving them I'm not giving them a very big edge, but I'm giving them the slightest of edges now. And as we know, Dale Steyn was not a person who was actually there in the mix when South Africa and England clashed. So Dale Steyn coming into the mix is something which definitely would strengthen South Africa. And South Africa definitely, I think, on the ascendant, no doubt about it. Hashim Amla is looking in good nick. He scored that aggressive 97 the other day. A.B. de Villiers is already coming to some good form. I mean, I thought the South Africa, only thing, the question mark would be on Duminy. Whether Duminy also played well in the warm-up matches, but one has to wait and watch whether Duminy can translate this performance into tomorrow's match. David Miller is in some fine nick too. I think they have some good all-rounders in the form of David Miller. David Wiese also can hit the ball really very wide, high and wide. And I think on Indian wickets, probably they might even get the elevation pretty quickly. The bowling, Dale Steyn for sure to be watched out. Kagiso Rabada had a nice time against England. And then they have Chris Morris, the $1 million guy. The Indian fans would be definitely watching him very, very keenly. And he's the one who's $1 million guy in the Indian Premier League 2016, which he has already proved that why he's $1 million guy. And now Chris Morris would be there tomorrow in the thick of the action between England and South Africa. And Dale Steyn and Imran Tahir, the leg spinner, also going to be a threat, as he did a wonderful job in the home series against England. So definitely there's a lot to look out for in this particular match. And let's have the pitch. This is going to be played at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, the same place where Chris Gayle gave a bashing to the English bowlers. And probably it would be interesting to see as to when they win the toss, what actually happens. Whether they decide to, the team that wins the toss decides to bat first, because one advantage would be that because of the heavy dew that happened, as you know, when Chris Gayle was batting, it was very difficult to control Chris Gayle. So that is something that both the captains would be wary about, and they would probably play their they would have to play their cards very well tomorrow when after winning the toss as to what to do. So that is, and I think whichever team wins the toss, I'm sure would decide to actually insert the opposition first. Well, so as I said, I'm slowly tilted towards South Africa on their current form right now. Now let's have the next preview, which I'm going to do, is between Australia and New Zealand, the Trans-Tasman clash, which is coming up on a neutral ground here. Australia and New Zealand have recently played some T20 matches, as you remember, but Australia look good in that. I mean, they took the T20 series, as you remember. I think they played only 2 or 3. I don't really remember that. But this match is going to be played at the Dharamshala ground, and where definitely one can say that I'm told that a new pitch has been prepared. So that will be interesting to see as to how it plays. But there is also the sneaking feeling that spin would definitely play a part. And especially in Dharamshala, one thing I can say, probably the conditions being on the hilltop, there could be some conditions, there could be some movement for the bowlers too. So that would be pretty interesting to watch. And Australia and New Zealand, well, but there is also a bit of a threat of rain, I am told. But as far as Australia are concerned, it will be interesting to see as to what would be their opening pair. Whether Australia would go with Arun Finch and Shane Watson or David Warner. But on all likelihood, it seems that David Warner is going to be slaughtered at the number 4 position. Stephen Smith would be the one. Stephen Smith has not looked the part at all in the warm-up matches, but whether he can really come into some good form tomorrow. But the opening combination to me looks pretty good. Shane Watson always has played a lot of cricket in India, and I'm sure he also has got a lot of following there in India with Indian fans, playing in the IPL on a very regular basis. So Shane Watson is another person who would be forming a very good combination with Arun Finch. Then they have, as I said, Australia are stocked with some big all-rounders in the form of Glenn Maxwell, Mitchell Marsh, who is in some good form too, James Faulkner, another good all-rounder, Peter Nell, the wicket-keeper, probably getting a chance to be in India for the very first time. And then the bowling would be, as I said, Australian batting, I'm always confident because they have a magnificent batting lineup according to me. But the bowling for me looks a bit, but again, since it's T20, I would still say that this bowling attack can actually do it. Josh Hazlewood, who is a very wicket-to-wicket type of bowler, and then they have, I'm sure they might go, whether it will be interesting to see, because on Australian pacey and bouncy pitches, they opted for John Hastings, Nathan Coulter-Nile, or whether they would like to go for another spinner. But I'm 100% sure that Australia will have that leg spinner Adam Zampa there, because if the pitch is going to spin, Adam Zampa could be a very big threat to the Kiwis. So Adam Zampa for sure, but it would be interesting to see whether Smith the other day mentioned that after seeing what Kane Williamson did against India, he would be tempted to probably do such an experiment. So it would be interesting to see when the match starts as to what the team composition is. But all in all, I think whether John Hastings plays or Nathan Coulter-Nile or it's going to be Ashton Agar, it will be interesting to watch. As far as New Zealand are concerned, well, they are the ones who have really rocked the first. They rocked the Indian boat for sure in the first match of the World Cup, and there can't be a better motivation, better morale, and than anything else like that, because they have already already they have taken a big fish, and they have definitely made themselves made their task a bit easy, I would say, in this T20 World Cup. And for New Zealand, well, they definitely they are very good, no doubt about it. Martin Guptill, he's in the form of his life, no doubt about it. And then Kane Williamson, Colin Munro, I mean, he can hit the ball a mile. And then Corey Anderson, some very good all-rounders. Corey Anderson, Ross Taylor the other day failed against India, but you know that Ross Taylor is not the one to fail repeatedly. Mitchell Santner, I've been saying that right through. This bloke, whenever he gets the ball, whether he bats, whether he fields, I think Mitchell Santner is a very, very, I would say, a very big contributor. And definitely Mitchell Santner could pose some problems for the Aussie batsman tomorrow with his brand of spin. Grant Elliott is another type of bowler who would love to bowl on these Indian wickets because he's just a trundler, and that could probably help him. Luke Ronke, the wicketkeeper, Nathan McCullum. So I'm sure New Zealand, after looking at the experiment that they did against India, I'm sure Kane Williamson once again, and I also see they named 11 players, and there is no Trent Bolt or Tim Southee. They are once again, I'm sure with Australia also, they might go with the three-pronged spin attack: Mitchell Santner, East Southee, and Nathan McCullum, and Adam Min is the only pace bowler in the mix. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see as to what happens there in Dharamshala. But as I said, there is a threat of rain. But well, that is something that one can. I mean, it's a T20 match, so even if rain falls, it could probably end in a rain-reduced match. But whatever the case may be, at least one should have some. One should see that both these teams play, whether it is a full 20 overs or a truncated game. It's definitely is something which one is looking out for. So, well, dear fans and subscribers, that really sums up this cricket happening show of mine today. I would like to say that you will be seeing me, dear friends and subscribers, tomorrow with a full and with a cricket summary on both these matches, which I preview right now. And till such time, I come back to you, dear fans, friends, and subscribers.